Hello and welcome back to the S.H.E Gallery show. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for being with us, Mary.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you. And you are watching us live on CAN TV. You are watching the S.H.E Gallery show. And you are with us, so please remember that you can call us throughout the segment at any time at 312-738-1060. That phone number is also found on the bottom of your screen. Please remember that you can always visit us at our website. That is sharinghisenergygallery.net. You can always email us, and you can always call us. Let us know if you want more information about our nonprofit, or you want to get involved, or any of our previous artists. You can always also contact them on our website. And after tonight's segment, you will also be able to contact Mary J. Saran on our website as well. Tonight is a really special segment. It is the last segment of the season. We are season 4 of the S.H.E Gallery show. We really want to thank CAN TV for this opportunity. And S.H.E Gallery is growing, it is evolving, and tonight is also my last day hosting. Bittersweet, really bittersweet, because you are going to be so excited about our next host for next season. So we'll make that announcement a little bit later. But let's get into tonight's segment. We want to go back to our roots. We want to go to the beginning leading up to today. We have Mary J. Saran, who is an artist who has been all over the place. She comes from Downers Grove. She's been in Brooklyn. She's been all over the place. And she comes back to Chicago. And here she continues to grow with us as an artist, as a curator. We're very excited to introduce our next art exhibition that we're a part of. That is Show of Shows at S.H.E Art Garage. And that is opening this Friday, and that is running in conjunction and in partnership with Expo Chicago and Navy Pier. So we're extremely excited to be a part of that. And we are also extremely excited to have the opportunity to showcase our first artist. So S.H.E Gallery started its first art exhibition introducing graffiti artists that we felt paved way for street art, and that was part of history. For my growing up, these are the graffiti artists that I grew up with, and we are really excited to introduce them. So if you visit our website, you can see that you can find more information about Show of Shows that's happening this Friday and running all weekend. You can meet our artists and get a lineup from the rest of the artists and the rest of the organizations working towards this exhibition. There are 10 different organizations and individual artists working on this event. And we're just going to take you on a trip back to Paveway as we introduce this last segment, and give you a little taste of what they did during our first exhibition. This was Paveway at Foxhole, Chicago. Here we have Nags, we have Macer, we have Peace. That's just 3 of the artists that we introduced. And they are doing a live piece at Foxhole, Chicago. You might recognize Nag, that is Nick in the wheelchair. That is also our technical engineer. Happy birthday, Nick. Today is his birthday, a little Libra baby. So this is where we started, and here we are 3 years later, and reintroducing them this Friday at Show of Shows at S.H.E Art Garage in Bridgeport. We welcome you to visit our website and get more details on that exhibition. You can also continue to check out more about from our previous exhibitions. Paveway leading up to today, 2018, Show of Shows. So we have evolved quite a bit, and we're extremely excited and grateful for you to be a part of that evolution. So let's move on to our guest here today, Mary. We're so excited to have you here. Really excited to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about your background. I know that you have some inspiration, right, from your mother and your father. You want to talk to us a little bit about your growing up and your inspirations, your early inspirations?
Yeah, so my mom was an art dealer and art collector for about 15 years, so had a lot of art in the house, and was always very kind of crafty as a child, getting into projects. And really started doing kind of portrait drawings in high school and getting more serious, having my own studio, doing honors in art, things like that. And my roots are really grounded here in Chicago. I have a lot of friends and family, a lot of artist friends, and my education is really based here. And started kind of doing some more mixed media work, some painting, sculpture, design, collage, things like that, and really decided to go to New York for a couple years and dive into some of the galleries in the scene there. And, definitely an amazing experience. I did about 5 years out there and made a lot of connections, and not only kind of played the artist role, but also kind of started getting interested in curating and working with other artists.
Curating in New York, that has to be an experience. That has to be awesome.
Yeah.
What are the highlights from that journey?
I found myself kind of getting involved in, all kinds of spaces and, kind of high-end commercial spaces all the way to kind of like salon shows in Brooklyn. And then, also being on the other spectrum, so not only organizing those shows, but also showing in those spaces too. I don't think every artist kind of has the duality in their practice to be able to do both, and I'm really loving doing both. And, some people think, maybe pick one, but I love doing both, and I can't, I think it's good to be multifaceted, and these days, and especially with kind of living in a crazy world, you need to have a lot of opportunities and options and, different ways to take your art career. Definitely New York was a fun experience, and but I did want to really kind of bring more art here to Chicago, and that's something I was really passionate about. I think Chicago has a lot to offer. There's tons of space, and you can actually afford a studio or partner with S.H.E Gallery and do a great show. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many opportunities here, and there's a lot of this kind of like DIY spaces and just a lot of opportunities to experiment and grow. And I wanted to kind of come back for my master's program and kind of reconnect with some people here and artists. And
we're so happy you decided to come back, and more so that you're doing show of shows with Cece. So you previously worked there before. You had another art exhibition there recently. I remember earlier this year in February. You want to talk to us about that experience?
Yeah.
Also bringing other people from Chicago together. You're so good at that, at uniting the community and the students. It's amazing. Not everybody has that energy, you're right, to be an artist, to be a curator, and to be so specific about what you curate and who you bring forth. You're really inclusive. And that's one of the reasons why we were so excited to have you and be a part of Show of Shows.
Yeah, and then I was also kind of, my third, I guess, thing I'm trying to tie in here is my master's program was art education. So I'm also, all of that's interconnected as well. And that was my first show I did with Cece, was I really wanted to focus on showing all collaborative work. So there was no individual artist in the show. And I wanted it to be kind of reaching out to the emerging artist community here in the Chicago area. And
talk to us a little bit more about that. Dissect that.
Yeah, I know that term is that term is thrown around.
I really like that
freely.
It was great. It was really great.
But being kind of in an institutional setting and being in New York, I was just kind of frustrated with seeing all these artists, wanting to be, the next top dog, and yeah, it's all about me, my portfolio, my work. So I kind of wanted to break that down in this show, so it was Collaborative Collisions was the title, and again we had over 30 plus artists, similar to the Show of Shows, and and it kind of tied into some topics of, it's not only institutionalized artists, but also self-taught artists, just people from all walks of life. I wasn't really trying to make it all about, people from my school or whatnot. I wanted to really have it be an open call and open it up to the city at large.
And it was a great show. You not only had visual art, you also worked with projection, and you got really creative. You really allowed everybody to be as creative as possible. What were some of your favorite pieces or installations from there? Is that wrong to ask?
Don't want to choose too many favorites. We had a big woman group that put on a really neat installation. I actually, as a part of the project too, I had the privilege of working with 5 other artists on 5 different projects. Some of them were engineers. Some of them were just self-taught artists, people that I've met through friends of friends, people that just emailed me saying, hey, I saw your show, I want to work with someone. And I said, great. Well, I don't know who I can put you in touch with at the moment, but let's do something. Let's have coffee tomorrow, So I think it's, I'm wanting to network more like that and kind of build upon what we have here in the city. And I think sharing authorship, working with emerging artists is a great opportunity to build on collaboration and it's that also kind of ties into the Show of Shows. I wanted to kind of bring kind of like these 10 sections, 10, you know, kind of main areas, and work with different artists. And, you know, Christy liked the show that I did with her and kind of invited me to work on this project. So it was pretty exciting.
We're excited too. So what she did was she gave back. Cece gave back. She thought of everybody that she had worked with throughout the year, and she said, I want to invite everybody and I want to do a big show. And it went into conjunction with Chicago Expo, and here we are, show of shows. We're really looking forward to that. Let's go back and talk a little bit about yourself as an artist. You are a visual artist. You said that you work with sculpture, right? And then you also work with art design. Can we see some of your pieces that we have here? You want to talk about some of these pieces?
Yeah, so I always like little things, work. But yeah, and this is one of my kind of little sculpture pieces too.
You could sew it here. Lay it down here. So you work with, what is your favorite art medium to work with?
I don't know if I really have a favorite. I've been doing a lot with like plaster and stones, metal, gold leaf, acrylic paint. I've been doing some collage as well. I've been really into kind of this kind of space age NASA science world that we live in. You know, thinking about something other than ourselves and how big the universe is. So I've been working with like this piece back here has some images from the NASA kind of collaging and things like that. So thinking about our solar system and nebulas and you know, discovering you know, different parts of Jupiter and Saturn, Mars, all these kind of new images that we're seeing. So kind of trying to think about that in kind of like a space pop direction, I guess.
It's fun.
And so yeah, this has kind of been my newer kind of direction, Escape Earth, so it's a little bit more sculptural. I've also been doing some digital work, so I've been basically kind of taking pictures of these works and kind of viewing them as like objects almost, and then appropriating them and kind of making them into digital form. So it's like these original objects are kind of growing and transforming through dimension and becoming digital. So I'm definitely very excited for that too. So I kind of have almost like three main portfolios: the more sculptural, you know, this more kind of painting, and then also the digital too. So
we're just going to go through some of these images that we have here. This is some more paintings and work from Mary Saran. And here we can see more of this collage, right?
Yeah, and that has some of the plaster and kind of three-dimensional. I know sometimes it's hard when things are so digital to you know, visualize them in person, but there's a lot of metallics and iridescent.
So we invite you to show shows this Friday and check out our work in person. Here is what we have here live. You want to talk to us a little bit about more about this piece? I know we just kind of like showed it, but it looks like these are stones. Are these energy stones? I see agate. Is this an agate energy stone?
Yeah, agate slice.
I call it agate.
Agate. Same thing. It's fine. I mean, I don't necessarily like, you know, get too into that, but I do think that there is kind of, you know, something to say about stones and energy, and also like where they come from, and also I'm thinking about kind of craters and these kind of stones and masses on other planets and other worlds. So I'm also kind of using, you know, this as an example and maybe visualizing like what something like this could be like on, you know, Mars or Jupiter, or even like an undiscovered planet or something. So it's a little bit of a tribute to that as well.
Nice. Yeah, so I know I personally study stones more in my degree.
I know, you probably know more than I do.
No, it's fine. I'm like, and I got that. And like, that's what I do just from like being Mexican. I pronounce all the words, like every single word or every single, you know, and you know, Estrella's looking at me like, yes, I do the same thing. So then let's see. So let's talk a little bit more about your experience. So you decided, you've been making art all of your life, and you know, your brothers and your family, they chose different careers, more professional type of careers, and you went the art way, and that became a little bit challenging at times. You want to talk to us about some of the experiences you went to? You don't have to go through detail, but maybe some words of advice and inspiration to those who may be afraid to become full-time artists, or full-time curators, or full-time anything that's outside of what society tells them
as
to.
I take a deep sigh and breath here. I mean, I think the most important thing is to, you know, really just keep making the work, keep connecting, keep going to shows. And I think artists deal with rejection a lot, and try to stay inspired, try to stay motivated. Oh, we have a caller.
It's okay. You can finish your sentence.
Try to stay motivated, and once you personally kind of start taking yourself seriously, other people are going to recognize that. And I think in terms of art, it kind of comes in waves, Sometimes there's like, you feel like you're doing nothing, or, maybe you're thinking about a project, but it's not happening the way you want it to, or whatnot. But then once you kind of build that momentum, things start happening, like back and forth. And I think it's important to recognize that, to run with it and see what happens. And
that's great advice. Now, caller, we do have a caller. Caller, do you have a question or a comment?
Yes, hi, good evening. I was wondering how many artists are in the shows, and are they all local artists?
So I think we're about at 38. I've been saying 30 plus, but we're getting closer to 40 at this point. And I don't think any others can join because it's this week. But yeah, so we're close to about 40 artists now, and all of them are Chicago-based, Illinois-based. So
Great,
it's CC's Art Garage is one space, and then within that gallery space there are 6 other galleries, including S.H.E Gallery, and 4 other individual artists. So each gallery is bringing more artists, which is really cool because Expo Chicago and Navy Pier does that within the world. They bring galleries from all over the world, and here we're doing it in a smaller Chicago setting, which is really cool. I don't think anybody's ever done that before.
Yeah, and I just remember early this summer kind of having that conversation with Cece, and because her being open for about 2 years now, she's like, oh, I really want to do kind of like something that shows new work from these people I've been working with. We've had some great shows. These are the people I want to work with, and kind of invited me to work on this project with her, which was really awesome. And I remember turning to her being like, oh, well, Christy, Expo's coming up. Like, that's a big deal. It'd be great to try to partner with them. And like, I go to the show every year. I've gone to a lot of the fairs in New York, and that would be such a great opportunity. And I'm really glad that they accepted us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's, and like you kind of said, it is all weekend. So, I mean, the opening is from 6 to 9 on Friday. And when we do have some live music as well. And then we are also having open gallery hours from 12 to 5 on Saturday, and Sunday 12 to 4. And there's going to be a workshop at 2 p.m., which is kind of just going to be coffee, donuts, the artist talking about the work. People are invited to, bring projects that they want to exchange work or ideas, really kind of keeping it open, having some structure, obviously, but wanting people to interact, because I feel like, the opening can be so busy and crazy, and, it's nice to have that kind of one-on-one time, and we have the space too, which is nice.
Again, please visit our website, and there you can find more information about shows this upcoming weekend. We're really, really excited. We also want to talk really briefly about other stuff that's going on, other news that's going on with S.H.E Gallery. This past weekend we had our orientation. S.H.E Gallery is branching out, and we're really, really excited. Just because we had our first orientation does not mean that it is too late to be a part of S.H.E Gallery. We are looking for members, directors. We are growing, and basically what we're doing is we're teaching you the perks of a 501c3. What we're doing, we'll teach you to do it, collaborate, so that we can have exhibitions and events on a greater level, just like what Mary was saying, to be able to share these opportunities. You can email us for more information. You can find out more about our organization through this video here that Efren Villalobos made for us. And here you can also find out more information about this upcoming exhibition. You have a list here of all of the artists that will be involved from all of the galleries. And please remember that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We are having a special visual homage to domestic abuse survivors and those we have lost. That is from victims to survivors. Comfort Station is opening up their doors, and so many great artists that are also PhD degrees, clinicians, have come together, and together we'll give you live performances. We will have speakers, an on-site clinician, other resources. We will also have performances by Ada Chang. We have performances by Amanda Salcedo. Kathy Byrne, and Debbie Van Dam Boom, Marina Drovosalva Levick, I can never pronounce her last name, I'm sorry Marina, Miriam Yvette Perez Lozano, Christina Infantel, myself, Gina Ramirez. This is one of the first organizations or events that S.H.E Gallery wants to branch off. So if you have any ideas, anything that's empowering to the community, we really welcome you to join us, to join our group and bring these ideas forth together for the community. So together we're coming together. We have support from No More, from Lifespan. We're having Pie Pizza from Burrow bringing us couches. We're very excited. And again, just please visit our website if you ever want to find out more information about our organization. And please come to the show this Friday. We also look forward to having Mary join us. And again, this is a community treat. This isn't about competition. It's about bridging and bringing together partnerships and empowering the community to do more for themselves through the arts and bring forth these huge partnerships and these big shows like Show of Shows or like Solar System or like the collective one that you did with Cece. Mary, is there anything else that you want to share with us, with the audience before we head out? Any words of inspiration or any advice? I mean, you kind of like really put that up, right?
Yeah, I just, kind of going back to collaboration and some of my thesis and kind of what inspired me to work on, with Cece, with you and the Show of Shows, is just to really not get too caught up in the artist ego.
Yeah.
I know that's hard and everyone has a little bit of that, but I think that when you really get out of your comfort zone, when you work with someone who, is working in a different medium, working on a cool project, you want to learn something, you want to, be a mentor with them, you want to be inspired, shake up your practice a little bit. That's how you're going to get better, that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to inspire other people. And, don't be too afraid or too proud or have too much ego to make that step or challenge yourself to just, not only do the individual work, but work on a group project or a workshop or a collaboration.
And if you're too embarrassed, just give us a call. We'll have coffee with you. No, seriously. I mean, sometimes people just need that little push, and that's where you get there, And the survey that the people took for the orientation, they asked very specific questions. You took it, and it was like, well, if I'm just a creative person, I have ideas, but I don't consider myself a curator or an artist. And now these are the people that are bringing forth some of the most amazing ideas because they've probably been like locked up in a box, and now they're like, well, actually, I've thought about doing this all my life, but I've been doing this and taking care of the kids and da-da-da-da. Like, we're here to let you know that you don't have to stop yourself. You don't have to limit yourself. We are your resources, and that's why we're doing everything that we're doing. So thank you so much for being with us. I want to thank Can TV so much. I know. I'm not going to cry. I just love Can TV. I really, really, really do. And apparently I'm not the only one. And that's a really great thing. So part of what S.H.E Gallery is doing and branching is sharing and giving opportunity to others. And S.H.E Gallery, S.H.E Gallery show, thank you so much for being with us throughout these 4 seasons with me as a host. I started this program with my girlfriend Diana, whose last name is now Pasola. I've known Diane for a really long time, and I started with her and my girlfriend Lucy, and we're like, we're gonna be in TV and we're gonna have these shows, and it's not for everybody. Diane ended up having children and marrying, and we miss you, Diane, and happy birthday, Jimmy, who just turned 1. So she loved doing this, so she wasn't able to continue to do it with me, and I am developing the organization as a founder and director, and it's tons of work to wear so many hats. So it's something that, I'm really glad that my baby is like being able to be handed off and branched off to other people that are also enjoying and growing and inspiring, because that's what it's about. I really quickly wanted to mention we had the architects that built Can TV, Anna and Chris from Maddie's Architecture, and something that they said while they sat here was, no good product ever stays the same. Every good product evolves. And I thought of the iPhone. But when I went home, I thought about it in a greater scheme. I was like, oh, Everything needs to evolve. And then we had Trickster here, who really dissected evolution so much so, and there was such a high demand for the information that Trickster had to offer, and we had callers waiting to talk to Trickster, and he has so much information to offer, and he loves Can TV so much. He's been on Can TV since way before I was on Can TV at all of the different locations that Can TV possibly had. So we're extremely grateful to hand over our baby to Trickster. Trickster will be the next host for our next season, 2019. And I know he's going to be great. I look forward to it. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for our season. Thank you, Mary.
Appreciate it. Thank
We'll
you
see
for
you
your
guys
time.
Friday.